Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Anonymous, and in this channel, we talk about gang stalking, we talk about manipulation, we talk about perception, and we also talk about my experiences, my opinions, and my expressions in regard to gang stalking. In this video, I want to talk to you about how the perceptual change happens. So there is this unknown thing, this big secret that only gang stalkers know. And the big secret is that there is this thing that happens to your perception. It can actually be changed into pretty much how do you say, into perceiving everything against you. How was this done? Gang stalkers pretty much stress you. They give you anxiety. They confuse you. They do things that can be seen from in one way or another. And they can say words that sound like two different words. And depending on which perception it is, or on what perception you are in, that is how you're going to perceive everything around you. For example, if a gang stalker is holding his phone and he looks like he's recording you, but he's actually looking at his screen. If you are on a normal perception, then if you are like how you see the world normally, you are going to think, oh, he's just looking at his phone. But the fact, and when you change perceptions, when they have stressed you out to the point where you believe that everything is done to fuck with you, you're actually going to be perceiving that as someone recording you with their phone. And you're going to be sure, you're going to know it with all your conviction. So the twisting of perception, they call it connection. And once you are connected, that is how they program you. Well, first of all, it is you that is doing most of the programming. They only have to do it a couple of times, and then they get the ball rolling. So, for example, they stress you out, do the hand signal. Everyone just like freaks you out, right? So they start like running around you. They get really close to you. Also, when you're driving, they actually follow you in your car a little bit. So they give you like a big show, a big show where it appears that they're doing one thing, such as appearing that they're following you. However, they're not. They're just pretending to be following you. For example, the first time that I experienced gang stalking, I was driving to Calexico. I went to visit a friend. I was driving there, and this woman was following me. She was following me. So then I let her pass me, and then I began following her. And then she parked in the house, and I was like, I'm gonna wait here to see if she actually goes in that house. I bet that's not her house. I bet she just parked there because she just wanted to park there until I would leave. And guess what? That was her fucking house. So now that I have more experience with gang stalking, that is exactly what gang stalking is all about. It is where people do things that appear that are against you. So they do this so much that you feel that everyone is against you. However, it is only an illusion. This confuses you, it gives you anxiety, and pretty much you get to a point where you just become hyper vigilant. So now that is a state of connection. It is little because you're literally going to be feeling that everything is against you. So what happens here is that, for example, once they do that one time, honestly, I'm not sure how long the first turning of your perception lasts, but I know that is it long? Well, it extends, I feel, because you have more experience. Your programming is more permanent because when you stay connected, you feel that everyone is following you. So because of the first show that they gave you, whenever you're driving, you're going to look at a car, and then let's say that the car has the headlights on and it's daytime, and then you're going to be wondering, well, and this is how you're going to be thinking. You're going to be like, I had that experience where the cars had their headlights on so that I will see them. That is a symbol. That is how they are identifying themselves. That is how they are telling me that they're following me. So next thing you know, you're outside, and guess what? Now you feel you're gonna start looking for the headlights, and then you're gonna start making the assumption that those are gang stalkers, and it's gonna make it appear a lot bigger than what it actually is. And the thing is that before that, you never really paid attention. You never really paid attention to how many people had their headlights on during the day. So it looks like it's new. However, many people have always had their headlights on during the day. You just never noticed them. So you start noticing things that you really didn't notice, and you're gonna achieve. And the thing is that because of the experiences that you've had, you're gonna feel that that's new. So then you're gonna have the the experience with a car door slammings. I remember one time I was staying at a casino. I was sleeping in my car, and then I remember I was asleep, and I heard a car door slam. Bam! So then I looked through the window, and then I saw a woman just looking at me, and then she opened her car and bam, and closed it again, like to wake me up, to bother me. And she was waiting there for a little bit. So then I ignored her, and I pretended that I didn't hear anything, but I saw her. After that experience, after that experience, I began perceiving the car door slams as being against me. The thing is that I think that the first connection is the one that stays with you the longest, because you really don't understand what's happening, so you start immediately accepting all the new perceptions of things that are being imposed onto your mind. So that is how the programming is done. Let's say that that you're connected, right? Your perception has been twisted, and then you're gonna have people walking their dogs too close to you, trying to look inside your car. And then when you see that person, you're gonna be like, was that person walking their dog, or was that person following me, or was that person a gang stalker? But you're gonna be sure that that person was a gang stalker because that person is looking into your car, right? However, that person is actually walking the dog too. So, since you're connected, you're gonna perceive it as that being a gang stalker. Now, that is where it starts. Now, every time you see a person walking their dog, you're gonna be wondering, is that a gang stalker? Is that a gang stalker? And then that same thought is what triggers. It's what triggers whenever you see a person walking a dog close by you. That is the programming. So, a thought that stays in your head for too long becomes a belief. I'm gonna tell you this again. A thought that stays in your head for too long becomes a belief. So that now becomes a belief that people that are walking by your car, that are walking their dog close to your car, are gang stalking you. And that is so you're gonna see that, and every time you see a person with a dog, you're gonna be thinking gang stalker, gang stalker, gang stalker, and that is cementing the perception of people walking dogs in your mind. Next thing, gang stalkers holding bright lights, headlights, flashlights. You only need to see it once. Maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times. But as long as it bothers you, as it creates discomfort, like pointing a flashlight onto your face, you're gonna be like, that's a gang stalker. Because why is that person pointing that flashlight to me? So the next time you see a flashlight, or a bright light, you're gonna remember that time where someone pointed a flashlight to your face, or you're gonna remember the headlights, or you're gonna think of gang stalkers. You're gonna be wondering, that person is a gang stalker. And guess what? Anytime those things happen, you're gonna have the same thought. And guess what? Because you're having the same thought over and over, it becomes a belief. That is how that is how your mind gets programmed. Now, when I'm at work, I have noticed how they connect me. They do it by applying a lot of pressure, asking questions, asking for me, and it's gonna appear. And there's one point where it appears that they are not being, that they're asking me things only to bother me, that they are doing things to bug me. When I feel like that, and I start getting upset, something happens in between the anger where the perception just changes, and then you start seeing the gang stalkers, like your brain. It's like you're in a trance, where your eyes are looking for the gang stalking signals, and that's just how it is. You literally become trained to see the gang stalking signals. Like, you even start detecting the eye movements, because you look at the eye and then they move the fucking eye, and then you look at the hand and then they move the hand. But that happens all the time. So, because gang stalkers did that to me so much, I would get triggered whenever I would see someone moving their leg or their hand really fast. When I'm about to look at it, when I'm about to look in that direction. So, this is what happens. This is how you reprogram your mind. I'm like on the 5th or 6th day of reprogramming my mind. And every time I see a headlight, I have to tell myself, that is not a gang stalker, that's just a normal person driving, that's just a normal person driving, that is just a normal person driving, that is just a normal person driving, that person doesn't know me, that person does not know who I am. Today was the second day where I have been doing that, only that. On the first 4 days, I was working with my imaginative process, where the loud bangs, the noises, I was changing the images that they would pull up, or the sounds that they would invoke, or the thoughts that would be invoked. I changed them. Now, I am changing actually the narrative. So whenever a car drives too close to my car, I tell myself that person is just driving super close because they're gonna turn that way, and I'm right most of the time, or because I'm parked here, and there is no other way because it's a two-way. There's no other way that they can actually get to that spot unless they get too close to my car. But before, I wouldn't think twice. I wouldn't think twice of immediately, without any type of reasoning, making the assumption that they are getting too close to me to bug me. Because that happened to me one time. It happened to me where I was driving, right? I was on the freeway, and then cars would purposely come to get close to me. Like dangerously close. And guess what? After that time, I began perceiving cars that got too close to me against me. So that's how it goes. The perception changes are only the pushing of the new perceptions are pushed when you are connected. When they stress you out and you're upset. And this is the thing. I didn't understand how that worked. But now I do. It is almost like it happens when you're confused. Because you see things that appear one way but are another. So and gang stalkers are pushing you. They are confusing you purposely. So there's gonna be a point where you feel that instead of perceiving things normally, you start perceiving them in a negative manner. So they have to make you uncomfortable. So first, they stress you, they confuse you, and then there's going to be a point where your mind kind of opens. It becomes vulnerable. And when that happens is when they start pushing the new perception. And then, so gang stalking is something that is only done. It's a long-term game. It is nothing that is gonna come. It's not anything that is gonna happen quick. It takes years and years because they have to change their perceptions. One thing by one thing. And let me tell you, I got to a point where I would literally just be at work and I would just hear ambient noise and I would fucking just go in a trance. I would begin hearing voices. It was crazy. Literally the ambient sound. It was insane. And I have had to literally go about my day continuously reframing everything. Everything. I'm walking by and I'm like, that car is going that way. They have nothing to do with me. They're not following me. And then the headlight is dark or it's lit. Some people. So I have to literally undo all the perception changes. All of them. And it works. Now I have my mind back. They cannot connect me. They've tried. And before they didn't even need to do anything. But day by day, my perception becomes normal. And there was a time where I actually was like in between the two perceptions. And I had to continuously keep reminding myself, don't change perception. Don't. I have to fight it. It was quite fascinating. Well, the thing is that when you're connected and you hear the voices, they mold the voices to be against you. You know, honestly, I don't understand how they did that. That's the one thing that I don't understand still. But I think that the fact that you are in a confused state of mind, and then you hear a voice, and then you assume that the voice is like, it belongs to the gang stalkers. You assume that the voice is evil. Therefore, your perception of the voice is evil, so then you begin interpreting the voices as something negative. And that is how they make your mind work against you. So you attribute your mind to be belonging to the gang stalkers, because then it began to working with the gang stalkers. It literally begins working with the gang stalkers. For example, the thing with the bottle. You know, I honestly don't think that anyone from the gym actually was harassing me in the restroom when I was busy in the and in the stall, because you know your mind will make you see things, and your mind is the only thing that sees everything. For example, the time where I had the freaking where I had the coins, where I had no money, and I was trying to get enough money for food. And I had to get all my coins, you know. And then because your mind saw it, you're gonna assume that, you know, you feel that you're being observed all the time. And the truth is that you are. But it is not some type of technology. It is your mind. So then, because you made the assumption, because I made the assumption that a gang stalker was watching me. Next time I went to work, and then I heard the coins when they're counting the drawers to start up the day. I feel the pull here. It's like, oh, they're doing that on purpose. So like it changes the meaning of the sound. It changes the meaning of the sounds of coins. And the thing is that because I saw real life in both perceptions. I saw it in the perception where I'm normal, and I saw it when I'm connected. And let me tell you, nothing changes. They're not using any type of vocabulary. They're not using double meaning. They're not doing anything that is not normal. That's why we cannot get evidence. The moment that you pull out your phone to record them is when they know that you're connected. And let me tell you, I had my phone right here while I'm at work. And guess what? It did not change anything. It didn't change anything, guys. They still did the same shit. And the thing is that when they're harassing me, the only thing that they do is they just slam really big. Whenever they say a word, you know, that they notice that they have annotated, that bugs me. Before, it used to pull up a negative emotion. Now, because I have rewired my mind to think beautiful things, whenever I hear anything that says that it used to remind me of gang stalking, guess what? I may I reframe that to mean tighten your abs and fix your posture. So the things that used to make me, you know, think of gang stalking, like whenever I hear like in my head, I'm like squeeze. In my head, I go, squeeze your core and fix your posture, and I do that immediately. So now, this is the thing. Gang stalking literally taught me how to program my mind in every single way, shape, and form and aspect. It literally taught me how to use my exterior world as means of programming my mind by the best teachers in the world, my mind itself. One thing that I noticed was that my mind never lied to me when I was on the right track. However, it did make a lot of, it did create a lot of illusions when they had to do with the gang stalkers. Like, it lied to me in that way. But it did not lie to me whenever I was getting close to the truth. It began perceiving it as, well, it began telling me, oh no, you motherfucker, how dare you. But it never tried to deceive me. It never tried to tell me, you're wrong. That's not how it is. Whenever I was onto something right, the voices were literally like, oh, damn it. It lied to me when it was about the gang stalkers. But when it was about me investigating, understanding my mind, it literally was straight antagonistic. It told me, oh man, like it actually told me that I got it. It told me the truth. Which is why now my mind is back to normal. My mind is mine again. For the first time in many years, my mind is mine again. And I feel like I have completed this journey. I understand how to control my mind in any aspect I want to control it. And not only that, but I can also program it to use the ambient, my surroundings as just how gang stalkers use the things that happen every day they program me to be less and to think less of myself. I can program it to the opposite, which is why every time I hear a loud bang, I straighten my posture and I squeeze my abs. I just have to do it enough times so that it becomes automatic until my body remembers it. This is the thing. There was a point where all I would need to do was to see a hand go like that, and I would literally feel my throat, a knot on my throat, like my throat just pull down. Effortlessly. And right now I'm at a point where like I just began training my mind to react, like to squeeze my core whenever I hear a loud bang. The louder the bang is, the harder I squeeze my core. And I do not know how long it's going to take for that to actually become a permanent change. And this is the thing. The only thing that the gang stalking programming wasn't permanent was because I understood how it was made. And I was able to undo it. But the new thought patterns that I'm programming myself to have, those new patterns are going to become permanent. And I can literally mold my mind however I want it to. So, anyways, if we have reached 700 followers, or not followers, subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing. Just know that the purpose of this channel is to really tell the world what gang stalking is really about. To tell the world the truth about it. And how to make a gang stalking operation futile. And I have finally done it. The fact that my world is going back to normal tells me that I have found the solution. They don't connect me anymore because I have replaced the thinking patterns whenever I hear anything that reminds me that we used to bring up those memories. I literally replaced my entire OS. Everything, all the new thinking patterns that were imposed on me unwillingly, I have replaced them for something that is helpful. So now, everything that they did for all those years has no effect whatsoever. And that, other than giving me, other than the new knowledge that was given to me, and taught me literally how to program my mind in any way, shape, and form. That's exactly why I'm eating better now. I am more controlled. My substance abuse is no longer. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I was literally able to program my mind to not want cigarettes anymore. Now I'm going to program my mind to not be on Grindr, to not crave those things. That's my next program. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry I have been out of commission for a while, but I have been literally reprogramming my mind. Like everything. My entire perspective of the world, I have been replacing it. And let me tell you, it's a lot of work. But it is worth it. And let me tell you, I was able to change everything that the gang stalkers did to me in like less than a week. Like 5 years in less than a week. So, just know that the fact that you have your head on you 24/7, you have more opportunity than gang stalkers will ever have to reprogram it. To fuck with you. It is only you have the power to think however you want. The memories that they used to pull up that were negative, they don't have to be negative. You have to make the decision to change it. The truth is that you didn't know that you had that power. At least I didn't. But now that I know literally how to change everything about me, I feel like I'm a superhuman. Now, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I will be teaching you guys how to literally reprogram your mind. How to have new beliefs. And just know that your mind will never have only pure thoughts. It won't. You will have negative thoughts, and that's normal. Negative thinking helps you plan ahead of obstacles that you might encounter. So negative thinking is not bad when it's done a healthy amount. That is all for this video, guys. Thank you so much. I love you.